What's up, guys? It is Yerp from Yerp Man Sports. Today I'll be bringing you a tips and tricks video on College Hoops 2K8. If you enjoy this type of video and would like to see more, just leave a like and subscribe. Alright, the first thing we're going to be talking about is the Amateur Basketball League, aka the ABL, which is just select basketball in high school. This gives a chance for college coaches to assess talent outside of a high school basketball system. This is an awesome feature that we will most likely never see in a college sports game again. You will not be able to contact any recruits during the ABL period, but you will be able to play with recruits and check their stats across the season to gain more information on the recruits. And the more games you play in the ABL season, you will gain more in-season recruiting points. You use these recruiting points each week to recruit players. Playing these games also gives you more accurate information on a player's attributes. Now, you don't have to play any of the ABL games if you don't want to. I personally don't. But I do recommend attending the ABL and setting your scouts up in different regions to get better information on each of the recruits. Alright, and this is the screen you will come to once you complete an ABL game. As you can see, it'll tell you exactly how many recruiting points you gain from this game. I didn't happen to gain any because I just simulated to end, but it also shows the player stats for this game and the different recruits on each team and their top schools and also the attributes you learned from them. Alright guys, now before you go to the recruiting board and add in recruits, you need to come to your roster and figure out exactly your positional needs. As you can see, I have no center here on Alcorn State, or at least no one that's capable of playing center. Centers are very dominant in this game, so I highly recommend going after some good tall centers. The amount of scholarships you will have in season is based off of how many seniors you will have graduating that actually do have scholarships. However, underclassmen can declare and get drafted early or transfer due to low confidence. If this happens, you will receive their scholarship back, but that'll happen during the off-season recruiting portion. A couple tips for recruits is that point guards will always be the lowest overall or have the highest bust potential, one would say. Small forwards will have the highest overalls and highest ceilings, one would say. And centers are going to be just about the most balanced all across the board. And when I'm saying all across the board, I'm referring to the position as in the first center in the nation all the way down to, say, the 18th, 19th, 20th center in the nation. Alright, first thing I like to do when setting my recruiting board is to go to all the senior world players and add any 5 or 4 stars that are on there. Typically can't learn very much information on the recruits as you're only able to request game tape from them and not actually go and scout their games. World players typically won't ever commit to a school without a scholarship, and most CPE schools will not offer them scholarships. So as long as you offer them, there's about a 100% chance you will get them. If you can't fill out your board and have a positional need like I do, which is center, typically you can just go ahead and offer them right before the season ends. That'll always guarantee that you'll get them. Typically won't go after many JUCO players unless I truly believe they can make an immediate impact. But after that, I will go to high school seniors and sort by 3 stars. Interest. Once you have your recruiting board set, you want to make sure you get all phone calls out to all recruits ASAP to learn their first priority. The other 2 are learned by the visits at home. You only have a certain amount of recruiting points each week. This will limit your ability to be able to call and visit every single recruit. Your recruiting points each week will grow larger as you join bigger teams in bigger conferences. So if you focus on scouting or visiting recruits, you might not be able to call every single recruit. Once you complete your first week of recruiting, always simulate to the day after redshirting. This will allow you to be the first ones to send out scholarships. January 9th is the first and last signing day in season. This is typically the last time I will add any more players to my board during the season. You can always drop recruits throughout the season, but it's best to use your limited recruiting points toward the players you've already been going after since the start of the season. March 2nd is the last day to do any in-season recruiting. After this date, you won't be able to talk or anything with recruits all the way up until after March Madness tournament. Once you complete the season, that's when you'll be able to readjust your board, as most players you recruited during the season will commit at the start of the off-season right here. Once you know everyone's priorities, you can figure out which players you have the best chance at getting with your limited amount of scholarships. If you are starting at a career legacy and are at a small school, you want to remove anyone that wants to play at a big program. It is okay not to use all your scholarships at the end of the year, as they will just go into the next year. But your team will receive a walk-on player that typically are around 50 overall. They can get pretty annoying with player confidence. The final recruit ranking takes a lot of different things into account, such as All-Americans, Mr. Basketballs, star ranking, but also the player overall, which has a much higher impact than the rest of them. If you have a high ranking class, typically means that the players you recruited were among the best in the class.
If you guys enjoy this type of video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. You're out.